Hey everyone, Richard Metal Fan here, and today we're going to be talking about God Hates Us All by Slayer. Yeah. Now, after their own Saint Anger version of Diabolica Musica, Slayer decided to start to get back to their what they once were with the release of their, I believe, ninth album, God Hates Us All, and this which was released on September 11th, 2001, which of course a lot of people know that's one of the most tragic events that happened in America. And Slayer releases an album on 9/11, which is crazy. I mean, nobody had known, but yeah, I think this album is a pretty good album, and in my opinion, another underrated Slayer album. Uh, yeah, and it's pretty much they decided to realize that Diabolica Musica was bad. Even Kerry King said that he hated it, and I don't blame him. And I feel like it's sort of like a step back into the right direction. But without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, the album opens up with the intro, Darkness of Christ, which is a little intro. It's like a minute and a half long, and then it goes into the song Disciple, which I think the riffs are really good on this track. The lyrics are too, justifying like the title of the album when Tom screams God hates us all. And it's well played, and the first thing that comes to mind is like Tom sort of yells like a madman. The voice is kind of like too distorted, and it has a very catchy like ending in that song. um God Send Death has a very cool intro with some cool effects by, I believe, Jeff, and then some really good lyrics in there. New Faith, which is a far more groove oriented song that has a very nice intro for it. The lyrics are pretty decent and still spat out like the Ven. Um, and just I feel like, but I also feel like Tom's voice, especially like near the chorus, sounds like it's about to crack. Where he's saying, "It's like I keep the Bible in the pool of blood, so that none of it lies can affect me," and sort of like the section afterwards. Um, Cast Down, which pretty much has some like rap influences to it with Tom's sort of like vocal pattern. I mean, the song itself is it's decent up until like the chorus, and then where it just sounds so heavy and it's just grindingly heavy. I should say it's just wow. Threshold, really great drumming from Paul Bosta on there. It's a really catchy song. Exile, which that song is just super fucking fast. Just Seven Faces, which honestly think, which is track 8. I feel like they should have swapped that with Exile. I mean, that's just kind of like my nitpick for me. But anyway, the Seven Faces has a very simple intro with a lot of like effects, which give it like a dark and evil atmosphere. And at the intro, some good vocals and better lyrics, sort of like almost like a hardcore esque kind of riff to it, which is pretty good. Bloodline, one of the noteworthy songs off this album, and it's like mainly because it's like a very popular song, and it has a very catchy as hell. But a lot of people say it's kind of like the weakest on the album, but it still kind of sounds like very simplistic Slayer riffs, which is pretty good. Uh, Deviants, which almost kind of sounds like Seven Faces, which the riffs kind of remind me of something from like South of Heaven, mixed with sort of like slow hardcore riffs. Warzone, which kind of utilizes a 7-string guitar sort of like a decent effect, bringing back some of Slayer's sort of like thrashier early days, but mixing it with sort of like a groove similar to like Pantera. It's a good song, and I really enjoy it. And I feel like in my opinion, it's one of Tom Araya's most energetic vocal performances on this album. Yeah. Here Comes the Pain. It was sort of like an intro by Jeff and Carrie, sort of like like using like wah pedals, and it's just wow. And then the album closes with Payback, which is a very fast one. I just love, like the lyrics are just kind of like tough guy stuff, and Tom screams, "Payback's a bitch, motherfucker." But yeah, I feel like God Hates Us All is a pretty decent album. I feel like Slayer is sort of like a step back in the right direction after the god awful Diabolos Musica. If I were to give this song a score, I'd probably give this a 7.5 out of 10. Or probably good. But yeah, that's my review of God Hates Us All, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it, and I'll see you all in the next video, and keep it metal.